What do innovation professionals actually do? And how do they do it? How do designers create new products, services, strategies, and systems? And how do they overcome barriers to make change happen? Welcome to Idea Work, the podcast about the people, skills, and mindsets behind innovation. I'm Michael Walter, and I'm glad you've joined me. Whether you're starting out in innovation, shifting careers, or just curious, you're in the right place. Let's discover what makes ideas work. Welcome. In this episode, it's really, I guess you'd call it the season wrap-up. We've gone through the whole double diamond process, through the hypothetical situation of designing a new service for international students at a university. And I wanted just to sort of say, what can you do next? Where can you go from here? My intention for this season was to provide a base understanding for people to come to if they wanted to learn design thinking, especially the double diamond. Now, it's such a broad church. I mean, there's so many different frameworks and methodologies with design thinking. You've got the Stanford design thinking model. You've got the IDEO model. You've also got the bootleg from Stanford, and you've got other whole concepts like planet-centric design and other things like that. So you're really just at the start, but sometimes all you need is a little bit to get you started, and then you can get going. So in this season, we've looked at the layers of design, we've looked at prototyping and testing, we've looked at research from the start, and how to work with clients and teams. So I suggest while you're learning these next phases, choose a lane for a month. So you might really love communication design and graphic design. So maybe test that for a little while. Or you might find that you really love service design, especially if you're a practitioner in the not-for-profit sector running programs. There's a real nice synergy between that method of service design and being a program manager. That's where I came from. And we only covered a few different methods, but as you get deeper into this, you'll find there are so many methods in design thinking. For each phase, there's different methods. So I suggest to get comfortable with 2 methods for each of the 4 phases of the double diamond. Practice them, get really good at them, get really confident in them, and then find new methods that you can explore. As the more methods you have in your toolbox, the more confident you're going to get, and the more adaptable you're going to get to be in different contexts. So every single project will be different. You're going to need different parts, different things. So that's really important, is to learn as many different methods as you can, because then you can choose ones that relate more to the project you're doing. Another thing that will be really important for you is to maintain this enthusiasm and energy, is to find your people. Find others who are exploring design thinking. I remember when I first started, I did this meetup where we were doing the Acumen Plus Human-Centered Design course. And I did it with a few friends, 2 friends of mine and then a few strangers. We went to this course, it was like a meetup, and he suggested we all go through this Acumen Plus Human-Centered Design course, which is this free online course it's a free online course that you can do, where you can learn human-centered design over a course of weeks. That was really great because it got me motivated. It meant that I was practicing the skills with others who are interested in it. There might be others at work who are interested in this process, and you can meet together and chat about how you've been applying it in your workplace. You might find that for the first little while, you're doing design thinking undercover, sort of you're just applying different methods into your meetings or into what you do at work. Another important thing to do is to keep sure that you keep ethics in view. So if you do any interviews or anything like that, make sure you go through consent, de-identification, safe storage. These are all really important things. And if the project is about health or other sensitive contexts, make sure you talk to your manager or the HR to ensure that you keep it secure and safe and ethical. So some other good places to look are the IDEO design kit for information. There's the D-School bootcamp bootleg. There's a great book called Universal Methods of Design, which I think you can get online for free. I'll confirm that in the show notes. And this is Service Design Doing. It's another great book that talks about lots of different methods. There's heaps of great resources out there. I'll add a bunch of resources to this Substack, the Substack for this episode, and I'll continue to add new resources that I find as I go. So in this next section, I wanted to talk about my reflections on making the podcast. This is the first podcast I've made. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And I've been listening to podcasters for years. And I was really motivated by different podcasters such as Jenny Blake and David Nabinski, who both have spoken about the process and art of podcasting in their podcasts over the years. And I learned a lot from them. So I guess the thing about doing a podcast is it's learning in public. It's just like blog posting. By putting it out there, you're learning each episode. Like I think about when I had episodes where I was wearing like a puffy jacket and then I'd always hear crinkling, or I had a chair that was quite noisy and I could hear it as I leaned back. And you're sort of cringing because you're like, I could have done that better. But I have this mantra that's done is better than perfect. I just got to get it out there, because only through getting it out there that you hear it. And it's just like the design thinking process. You iterate and you improve. You make changes to it and you get better and better. I have a wise friend. He's in his late 80s and he's a great writer. And he said to me one time that it's actually a good thing when you listen to past work and cringe, or you read past work, is what he actually said, and you cringe, because it means that you've grown since then. Your worldview has grown and you've gotten a better understanding of where you are, and you're better at writing, or you're better at podcasting. So when I listen back to some of the podcasts, I always think that there might be moments where I cringe, but I feel I can see that I'm growing and getting better at this. Also, I think prep beats polish. So my process has been to record just spontaneously on my phone, and then I put it into ChatGPT to order a structure, but then I use that structure and I try and riff off the structure, because I find that if you speak naturally, it comes across. But it's nice to be able to come back to a clear structure that's based on what I said already, but written in such a way that I can follow it. What I have noticed though with ChatGPT, it's terrible at cutting out your voice. So it'll cut out anecdotes that add a bit of color to the story, or it'll cut out little phrasing. It'll just make everything really smooth and polished, but it's not human. And this is something I've noticed a lot with anything where I've ever tried to use ChatGPT to help improve structure or anything. It'll just make everything bland. And so that's something I'm very much aware of. And so I'll just use it to structure my thoughts. I like to get it all verbalized out first and then speak. And this has a benefit of making your voice warmed up. You might notice that I'm a bit croaky. It's because it's 7 a.m. or 7:26 a.m. actually. And it's the first time I've spoken. So even in this one, I'm learning that next time I should really do some speaking before I start my episode. But I'm so struck for time that I just want to get it out and get it done. I figure that if I put too many barriers in place, I won't be able to record the episode. If you're just waiting for the perfect moment when you've got a quiet house where no one else is home, that you have warmed your voice up, sure, it'll make a better listening experience, but it might not even get done. So I just like to try and minimize any barriers to get things done. I just want to put it out there. I love podcasting, and I've got many other things that I need to do with my study and work. So when I have a moment to do it, I do it. And that might be a little nudge for you, that it doesn't need to be perfect. You can just buy, spend a bit of money buying a nice mic, download Audacity, and just think about what you want to speak about and just put it out there. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just get it done. It's also interesting that sometimes we make mistakes. I think it was last week or the last episode, rather than saying fail fast, I said fail first. And while that could be something you edit out and re-record, I kept it in there because even though it was the wrong phrase, it still is correct. I always talk about that the first thing you do is you when you're making pancakes, the first one's a bit of a dud. And I think if you know that, then you don't worry about when you make a dud pancake. You might eat it and know that it's bad, or you might chuck it out. I don't know, some people do that. But if you have that philosophy with innovation and design, then you know that you're going to fail first. The first thing you do is not going to be great. And you're going to expect critique, and you're going to want the critique because you know that it's bad. You know that your first idea isn't great, and you don't get wedded to it. You sort of move on. You sort of get your feedback and continue to improve. So fail first is a mantra. I mean, the real mantra is fail fast. So you just get through the failures quickly. Just do as much and cheaply and get it done as much as you can. Maybe a new one is fail first. Who knows? The other thought I had was that design and tech move together. So you've learnt some basic parts of design thinking, but design moves fast. As tech evolves, design evolves with it. And designers also push tech, and tech pulls design. So there's always new methodologies, always new methods. And so just keep curious, keep growing. So I hope that this season has been helpful for you. I hope that you feel welcomed into the world of design thinking and innovation. And I hope that I can be that chaperone, that guide for you into the new seasons. So this is the end of season 1. Season 2 and the other seasons will begin again next year. Possibly after March, as that's when I have my next milestone for my PhD. But it could be earlier. There might be moments where I can start to record. In the next season, I'm hoping to interview practitioners, designers, innovation managers, just to sort of get a real life understanding of how they use innovation methods and design thinking in their work. And yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to hear about. Please subscribe and share my podcast, The Idea Work, with your friends. All right, thank you so much for listening and for sharing your time with me. And I wish you all the best. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. All right, bye. Just one short quick note about the theme song. It's my song, which is called Autumn. And I wrote it many, many years ago about my grandma as she was getting older. And I thought for the final episode of season 1, I'd play it out. So this is Autumn. It was written by me and produced by my friend Jeff Miller. Thank you for listening. All right, bye.
You are old now, your memories are fading. You look back on the life that you have lived. You smile at your family standing there. You feel confused about life and everything. You are beautiful. I love you. You are beautiful. I love you. Life is harder than